So thank you for giving me this opportunity to share on the topic of our Vassa this year. Over the many weeks of study and contemplation of Dhamma, our theme of Stop the War, which was chosen by Ayya Brahmavara, huge benefit to all the community to investigate this theme. And it's really lovely to be able to join in the sharing on Dhamma with everybody who's at Dhammadharani today. I'm speaking from the UK, from England, on Friday night, which is something like Friday morning or early afternoon over there with you. So just the day before Katina Day. And it's been really valuable to have the chance to share together on this Dhamma theme over the Vassa period. And we had a chance to consider many suttas from the Pali Canon on the theme of avoiding conflict and the qualities that lead to conflict, to disharmony. So many great teachings, so many teachings on how to promote peace, how to forgive, how to avoid judging others and also ourselves. All the ways in which we can step away from that which hurts and harms, that which causes friction, hostility, and the ways in which we can rather move towards peaceful coexistence, happy and harmonious coexistence, and that this is possible. And actually considering all the teachings of the Buddha on this theme, really kind of, I feel personally, it's kind of added to my toolkit, the kind of repertoire of skillful means that I can bring to bear when the mind is agitated or disturbed or angry or irritable, when the mind is prone to reactivity. So we talked a lot about reactivity and how to recognize and catch early on any kind of response to what's happening within us and around us in ways that are unskillful, how to be mindful enough to avoid escalation of any kind of triggering, any kind of reaction that maybe, if unchecked, could lead to unskillful, unfortunate speech or behaviour, or even just the most subtle body language that may convey to others a sense of hostility. And in all these ways that we've learned to promote peace, to really give a sense of safety to ourselves and to those around us, to give a sense of security, that in this very unpredictable and scary realm that we find ourselves in, that we can actually offer to each other the gift of harmlessness, and so the gift of safety, that we can relax in one another's company rather than having to feel on edge. There was, for me, a very interesting sutta that we looked at recently about judging, the judging mind, the mind that is liable to, prejudice, to projecting views onto others, and why that happens, and how we can therefore prevent that from happening. And there are so many things that I could say about all the teachings that we've received and considered this Vassa. I could talk all day, but because there's only a few more minutes left for me to speak on this topic, I think I'd like to focus on one of the causes of judgment that the Buddha gave, and this cause that came up again and again in the teachings on disharmony and the causes of disharmony is greed and lust. Greed and lust, wanting. That this is a cause of judging. It's very interesting to reflect on this, that our desires create our aversions, and our desires and aversions create the mind that is projecting out onto the world its likes and dislikes. And in this way, its judgments, its criticisms, its problems with this, that, or the other. And I find that a very powerful teaching and a very powerful contemplation, just to keep coming back to again and again. Whenever I have the sense that something's wrong out there, it's the reminder that there may be some desire or some aversion happening right here, and that this is the place where the attention needs to go. So whenever I have a problem, the problem is always here. And the resolution, therefore, the solving of the problem, thank goodness, is also here. It's possible, in short. If we think deludedly that the problem is out there, then how can we really solve the problem? It would be very difficult for us to grapple with such a problem out there. But if there's a problem in here, if the source of the disharmony, the source of the conflict, the source of the stress is here, then I can certainly root out the causes of dukkha here and make peace here. And thereby, of course, I can be a peaceful person in the world, and I can stop creating conflict with others. And this is really salutary. Beautiful, actually, for us. We've been considering again and again how much we are able to offer, and how much responsibility we have, how much agency we have in this sense of being able to offer goodness into the world and to step back from any causes of harm. And on this theme, just to say a few more words, this cause of judgment, that is this cause I'm looking at, greed and lust, being a cause of judgment. The Buddha also said in many suttas, in Majjhima that we were looking at and elsewhere, that the cause of all the wars, all the fighting, all the terrible violence and strife in the world is also all of it due to greed and desire. One can trace back all the sources of conflict to this: wanting things that we don't have, wanting more of what we have, wanting something from someone else. In short, desire. And this defilement, this root defilement in the human heart of desire, and its converse, it's what goes along with desire, aversion, just the other side of wanting is not wanting. So both wanting and not wanting, this argument with reality, is really the root cause of all suffering between people, all fighting, all the unkindness, all the harmfulness. And, it's something I've been reflecting on again and again. It's a kind of thorn or a barb that we carry, like a tumor, the Buddha said. These defilements that we carry in our minds. But the great thing is, of course, that when we start to realize and take responsibility for this, we can really begin to uproot these defilements in our own hearts. And, it's a contribution. We're not going to be able to put samsara right. The Buddha said, didn't he, that samsara is beginningless and endless, but we can certainly make peace here, and we can take up this noble quest to let go of all the causes of conflict right here. And this much we can do, and it's no small thing. I'm reminded of the image of the Buddha when he became the Buddha, the night of his enlightenment, the what he told us, and the many images that have unfolded from his teachings of the Buddha sitting and the armies of Mara approaching him and threatening him. How terrifying! How overwhelming to have such an experience. And yet, you know, when we take up the noble path of practice to liberate ourselves from all the defilements, we indeed are taking on the armies of Mara, and we are required to fearlessly, you know, stand up and not allow ourselves to be reactive, not allow ourselves to fall into greed, hatred, and delusion, but to recognize these defilements when they arise in the mind and use all our energy, give all our attention to not allowing them to flow, not allowing them to grow, but rather to see clearly the suffering there and letting that suffering go through understanding the dukkha there. And this is a noble quest, and we had to be like spiritual warriors in order to overcome the forces of greed, hatred, and delusion of Mara. And it can be done. It can be done. And I took great heart this Vassa from studying all the causes of conflict and how indeed it is possible for each one of us to stop the war. And I wish you all every success in this practice, in this quest, in this opportunity that we have to stop the war right here, right now. Thank you.